All right, everyone. Welcome to the Monday, January 24th edition of the MMAOB Daily Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Adam Martin. That's Big Marcel over there. What's going on, Marcel? How's everything, man?
All good, man. Kind of a busy weekend. Let's put it that way. So,
Yep.
yeah, all good. Last week at the mail for me. This week, so yeah.
I'm happy for you, man. That's good.
Okay.
I mean, I think I was telling you for the last year. I'm like, Marcel, you got to stop doing the mail thing. You got to work in MMA. So I'm happy for you. You started your job too, right? Like I know you've been writing some articles and stuff. I've seen for Eurosports. That's good. Got Nicola here. Hey, Nicola. We'll talk about that in a second. He's got a question about Ngannou. We'll talk about that. So yeah, my weekend was good. Man, it was good fights, man. Really good fights. Good football games too. I don't know if you watch American football, but there's some good games too. So
I saw a lot of tweets on my Twitter yesterday, but I haven't seen it now.
It was fun. So, anyways, let's get into this card. UFC 270. As far as picks go, 8-3 night for me. I think you went 9-2. You got one of the title fights. We're back to we have the same mark on the year now, so I'm happy for that, Marcel. We're always even. I thought we had the same picks, but you ended up picking Figueiredo, so we had a different pick there. So that's good.
Oh, you picked Figueiredo.
You did. You picked Figueiredo.
No,
he's on the. It said on the list that you did. I think it did, didn't it? I sent you. Remember the other day?
Yeah, I'm gonna check now. No,
you're not gonna tell Brian though. Eh? Why would you? Right? Isn't it? Check it. Am I right or wrong? I thought you did. Am I right? Yeah, you took Figueiredo. There you go.
I took Moreno.
You better tell Brian.
I will.
Oh, Joe, it was great. I mean, the football game was insane last night. It was one of the best games of all time. I know you saw some tweets, Marcel. It was just an amazing game. Got Joe here. Got Hype and me here. Good to have you here, man. Glad to have you here. Anyways, we got a lot to talk about, man. It's gonna be fun. Let's get into the card, Marcel. Let's just do it. Man. UFC 270, guys. Main event of the evening. We got a lot to talk about from here. And I'm not watching Ciryl show, but I am seeing the tweets about it on Twitter. And it looks like Ngannou is being sued or something by the UFC. Are you seeing this?
No.
Ciryl show apparently said that. I see Jason's got a tweet here. He says, Francis Ngannou just told Ciryl and his team he got an email from UFC. They were on their way out of the Honda Center. They were going to be sued because they were talking to Nikisa Badarian and Jake Paul about boxing. So that's really interesting. I just saw this right now, guys, on Twitter. I've been at work all day, so I just saw this. That's really interesting. Let's talk about the fight, and then we'll talk about the after with it. We got Glenn here. Obviously, you want to talk about that, Glenn. I can't wait to talk about this with you. John, great, fucking amazing fights, actually. They weren't just great. They're fucking incredible. Dude, I mean, listen, I'm a Bills fan, Sinister. I live in Toronto, so that's the closest team. I was hoping they'd win. Me and Cole, my buddy, obviously, he's another Bills fan. We're going back and forth on Twitter all night. That last second field goal really sucked with 13 seconds left. Anyways, let's get into UFC. So let's talk about the fight, and then we'll talk about the aftermath. So the actual fight itself, listen, man. I was watching the fight, and I'm like, what is Francis doing? You can't win a fight like this. You can't just win a fight playing a point fighting match. And that's what he did for the first 2 rounds. He was basically point fighting with Gane. And I'm like, man, what's this guy's doing? And I'm like thinking to myself, Eric Dixon's a good coach, and that whole team is really good. They come with good game plans. And you saw the adjustment on the fly in the 3rd round, Marcel. He went to the grappling, and he turned into Khabib for the last 3 rounds and basically just out-wrestled Gane. I don't think anyone saw the fight going this way. I sure didn't. I mean, I thought maybe there was a chance of a takedown, but I thought it'd be Gane getting the takedown, not Ngannou. Very surprising. But, was it the most exciting fight? No, obviously not, guys. It was kind of let's be honest, kind of a dull fight, although it was a competitive fight. It was kind of a dull fight. At the same time, though, I got to say I'm pretty fucking impressed because I didn't know he had that skill. And I think that is good to see. Marcel, he's not just a one-dimensional guy who can only knock you out in 20 seconds, which honestly I thought he kind of was. He's also a guy that can grapple you now, too. And he took down Gane and out-grappled Gane, who we were all praising last week as an amazing submission grappler. This is a good performance by Francis. It wasn't a great fight. It was a dull fight, Marcel, he made an adjustment on the fly and did what he needed to do to win the fight. And I respect it, Give me your thoughts on the actual fight, and we'll talk about the aftermath. But I want to hear your thoughts on the performance and the adjustment he made.
I mean, man, for sure. I mean, first 2 rounds, I had it for Gane because, he was just smart. He picked his punches and his kicks. 3rd round, at a certain moment, Ngannou caught a Gane kick, and he pretty much smashed him to the ground. I just think, Francis had the feeling like if I'm on top of Gane, he's not going to go away because I'm too strong for him there, So is his ground game really that great? I have no idea, but he has the strength, He has the full physical strength to keep somebody down under him and don't let him up. And that's what he did with Gane. And it was very smart. The 5th round, I think Gane made a mistake
He did.
With that heel hook, because if he stays on top in that
he
round,
wins the fight. He wins the fight.
Yeah, he wins the fight. Yeah, on 2 of the 3 judges' scorecards, he wins the fight. So, I mean, that was a mistake, but I mean, it's a great adjustment made by Ngannou and his coaches, man, by Dewey Cooper and by Eric Nixick. I mean, amazing,
It is.
To a guy who was known for his knockout power, couldn't get into the zone in the first 2 rounds, and then make that adjustment, go to the wrestling, trying to control Ciryl Gane on the ground and just outmuscle him, I think. So, yeah, very good performance. And I think for Francis, this was the only way, besides knocking him out early, to win the fight, probably, So, perfect adjustment. And what can you say? I think it was amazing what Ngannou did, knowing what he normally does, how he did this. It's the first time he wins with a decision, a 5-rounder. And yeah, I mean, respect for that, man.
Me too. Let me get these comments, guys, and then take some more thoughts on the fight. Jack Attack's here. What's going on, man? We got John. Here's what you say. Comparison. I like the comparison Francis made this fight with Stipe. I'm talking about the first fight, I'm assuming. He knows Gane will be back in title fight one day. Yeah, and I don't think there's any really bad blood between Francis and Gane. Honestly, I think it's between Francis and Fernand Lopez. It sure seemed like they respect each other, Gane and Francis. I think Francis looks at him like almost like a little brother in a way. I really do, Marcel.
I think as well. It was pretty obvious because also Ngannou and Fernand Lopez didn't acknowledge each other after the fight in the octagon. I was waiting for.
There's a lot of bad blood between those guys. Yeah. Because I mean, listen, like the guy brought him up. He basically discovered the guy. Let's be honest. And when he became a champ, or before he became a champ, he went to Vegas. But I don't blame him because I think he needed to do that. He made the right call for his own career, and I think Fernand needs to let it go. And I like Fernand; he's a great coach. I'm just saying he needs to let it go. But Gane's going to be a champ one day. Imavov will be a champ. He's got guys that are on the come up, so he's fine. It was a huge mistake, John. I think he cost him the fight. I really do. The going for that heel hook because it ended up on bomb position. And you're like, man, he's not going to – you can't sweep Ngannou, obviously. He's just too big. You know what I mean? Like, so lack of experience cost Gane. Ngannou was fantastic on one leg. We didn't talk about that. So Sports Rage, Gabe Morency, he's a guy I follow on Twitter for years, and a great guy for sports betting and stuff. He tweets out early in the afternoon, goes, hey, buddy of mine just gave me a phone call. He's like, this guy's like got inside information. He's like, Ngannou's got a bummed up knee or something. So a lot of people were fading Ngannou because of that, and then he still won the fight, even though he came up with the 2 knee braces on or whatever. So, Justin, how did he really go for the heel hook that Ngannou actually swept him? It's kind of like both, I think, man. Honestly, like I've seen a lot of the technical tweets and stuff like that. I feel like it was kind of both. At the end of the day, if he gets on top, ends that fight on top, he wins the fight. At the end of the day, he ends up on the bottom, and Ngannou wins the fight. Ngannou's punch power is probably compromised somewhere by the knee injury. You know what, Kevin? I don't know why I didn't think about that. It's so true. I mean, if you can't get that same torque and that leverage, I guess, planting down and just going for that bomb. Maybe that's why he didn't. Because I'm like thinking, man, he should be going for broke right now. Honestly, that's what I was thinking in the first round, Marcel. I'm like he fought Jairzinho, went across the cage and smashed him, like threw 20 punches and one landed. That's what I thought he was going to do, right? But it was like a very technical fight more so. And again, let's be honest, guys, it wasn't the most exciting fight. But the guy did what he needed to do, and I respect it. Nicola, I'm going to talk about the pay in a second. I see your comment. A couple of good adjustments, and Gane still has an extra fight in the round. Yeah, exactly. And Gane, again, as good as he is, and we were calling it natural, he is a natural MMA. The fact of the matter is he only had 10 fights, Ngannou had 20. That is a big difference of experience, and I feel like I overlooked that for sure. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of us did. But, I still think Gane's going to come back and probably win the belt one day. He's only 30, I think, so he's super young, and he's still a great fighter. All right, now let's talk about after the fight. So Dana didn't put the belt on Francis, and then post-fight press conference, I'm assuming you went to bed, but I stayed up to watch it, and Dana never showed up. And Ngannou didn't show up till like 3 a.m. Like it was like an hour break between the two guys. It was super weird between the two title fights showing up. It just seems to me, Marcel, this marriage is done. It's over. There's no coming back from this. It's over, guys. It's done. Francis is not coming back to the UFC, in my opinion. It doesn't make sense. Now he's being sued apparently because he was talking to Nikisa and Jake Paul about boxing. I just, he said at the post-fight press conference, the 5 years or whatever, the last contract he signed ends in December, and he's going to become a free agent in January. This is a guy who's only fought once a year for the last 3 years. He even said that. They're like, what do you think about only fighting once a year? And he's like, that's what I did last year and the year before. Like, he's used to this now. I think he's gone, Marcel. I think he's gone. I think he's probably going to look to do boxing and not MMA next, in my opinion. And I think it's a fucking shame, guys. I think it's a fucking shame that the best heavyweight in the sport is not going to be in the UFC anymore because of Dana White's ego. That's basically what it is. And also Francis's manager, I think, you got to blame him a little bit too, man. I know he's looking out for Francis, but at the same time, we know how the UFC works, guys. And, this guy he's not, I don't think he's really looking out necessarily for Francis' best interest because, let's be honest, there's no other MMA promotion that can pay Francis as much as the UFC, but boxing can. That's why I think he's going to do a boxing match. But the fucked up thing is, guys, I think he gets destroyed in boxing. I think Tyson Fury knocks him out, Marcel, easily, to be honest with you. So I think he's making a mistake, but I don't blame him because he's, when you get this disrespect, you feel this disrespect, Marcel. Like you worked at multiple companies and stuff. I'm sure you've had a job before you felt so disrespected. You just couldn't wait to get out of there, right? So give me your thoughts on this, Marcel. I'm going to get your guys' comments, but I want to hear your thoughts. My honest prediction is, and I hate saying it, guys, I think that's the last time we saw Francis in the UFC. And I really hope I'm wrong. But that's my honest opinion. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's possible. Do I want to see him in boxing? No, absolutely not, to be honest. But if that it will make him for sure more money than he gets at the UFC. So why wouldn't he do it? Yeah, by the way, that thing that Dana White wasn't there, unless he has a really good explanation why he wasn't there, is just super disrespectful, and it's not the first time he did it. So, yeah, I hope that he stays in the UFC, definitely, because he's at this moment the best heavyweight there is.
Yep.
Doesn't make sense. Maybe, yeah, PFL, I don't know. He can make $1 million over there, So
he would win that tournament, actually. Yeah. He would win the tournament, yeah.
Yeah, and he only fought once in the UFC, and there he probably has to fight 4 times or something. But still, there are the fighters at heavyweight in PFL are like not even close to the guys he's fighting and knocking out in the UFC. Maybe 1 or 2 are very good, but the other ones, they wouldn't make the top 10 in the UFC. So, it's pretty much, it depends what they're going to do, man. But I hope he stays. But if he feels like he has to go somewhere else where he gets respected, I would encourage that, of course, as well. You got to look out for yourself.
Yeah. Joe says he doesn't think Francis will be back. And Francis does need knee surgery. Yeah, he's going to be out for a minute either way. He's not going to fight for a while either way. And that's why I was going to say, I feel like they might create an interim belt. I think they're going to create another interim belt. I don't want it to be on this fight, but imagine Lewis and Deiveson gets the interim belt put on them. I hope not. Fight Oracle, that's my guy. Interesting opinion. Predicts Conor resigns and promises spot on Conor pay-per-view. They'll said Fury Ngannou doesn't sell. I think Tyson's going to sell against anyone. Yeah, I think Fury wins that fight. I feel like Francis being easily manipulated by his greedy management team. The guy doesn't come from MMA management. He was a guy who was on The Bachelor. I just question how much he knows about the business. Like, as someone who's been in the business, you don't want to be on Dana's bad side. It doesn't work out ever. Marcel? Like, look at Randy Couture. He had years of his career frozen because of his arguments with Dana White. Remember?
Yeah, but I don't think we have the ins and outs on
that's
it. So
no,
I can say
true.
Yeah.
You're 100% right. I'm just saying like what I know from the surface and what I know. But I just know that this guy doesn't come from an MMA background. He's not from the sport. He's from the outside. So I don't really know if he knows it 100% that well. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. Listen, Ngannou needs to be paid more, but basically, I don't think it's even about pay. They just wanted to have a boxing match. I think that's what it comes down to. They want to have that ability to have a boxing match, and we'll see what happens. They let Conor box Floyd, so there's a chance, but I just think it's a really slim chance. Adam Marcel, do you think Ngannou's not a draw? It's an interesting question, Joseph. Like, it's weird because Saturday night, I get all my friends or casual fans text me, "Yo, man, who's going to win the fight tonight? Like, Ngannou's a beast." You know what I mean? Like, everyone looks at the guy and they're like, "This guy is like a monster, almost like a real life monster, like, but the nicest monster. He's a nice guy." You know what I mean, Marcel? Like, so I think he should be a draw, but I don't know. I don't know how good this pay-per-view did.
These same fans who are like cheering for Ngannou that he is a knockout monster and this and that, after this fight, they're going to be like, "Oh, that was boring. He's really not that entertaining."
Yeah.
I heard it on many occasions last 2 days,
Yeah.
So I mean, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to win, and this is not your local fight show where you got paid €150 or $150 to show up at the amateur hour. This is the biggest fight in the heavyweight division at that moment, and it's a title fight. So you got to do what you got to do to win. And Ngannou did amazing, I think. So yeah.
I agree. Let me get these comments. You said that as a Fury fan, he doesn't compare to the star power Mayweather and Conor. I mean, I agree with that, and I like Fury too. Hey, local, what's up, man? Sorry, you guys, I'm late. No worries. This guy,
don't
always
let
got
it
some
happen.
news.
Don't let it happen too often.
I know this guy's always got news too. Yo, come on, man, give us a fight or something. This guy's like the new Marcel. He's like, I almost feel like it's you, Marcel, in the chat. Like you got a second burner. You got your burner account. That's your burner account. This is a good question, Mike.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Gone 500K. Tell me he's worth more than 600K. All right, let's get into the salaries. I'm going to answer these questions, and then I'm going to get into the salaries. Then we'll talk about the rest of the fights. We have to talk about the salaries because it's just too much to talk about. Boston gone for adjusting, but I thought Gane lost and more than Ngannou won. I agree with that. That's a good point too. It's like he cost himself the fight. Yeah, Jack. I mean, we were joking about the interim belt, but I wouldn't be surprised at all, man. Like, and even A-Look was saying, maybe the Volkov Aspinall winner versus the Ty Lewis winner for interim belt. It could happen. You never know. Oh, no, we got caught in Chicane and resigned. Yeah. Also, they could do Gane and Stipe or something for a.
I honestly think they're gonna do Stipe against the winner of Lewis Tuivasa.
They could do that for an interbelt. Yeah, I think Stipe will be. If they do an interbelt, Stipe should be in the fight.
Yeah,
exactly. Every fight's not exactly. Yeah, it was kind of weird that Joe. Hey, Marcus, he asked about the boxing thing. It was strange. As far as John Jones goes, okay, this is my opinion about John Jones. Best fighter ever, right? I used to have a poster of the guy in my room. I love the guy, right? But hasn't fought in 2 years. I think he's a keyboard warrior now. Honestly, I think he's a Twitter keyboard warrior. That's what he's turned into, Marcel.
Well,
the guy drinks, he hits his wife, and he thinks people care about him still. I personally don't have a lot of interest in John Jones anymore. That's my opinion. What about you, man?
What's with these Jones and Conor guys with tweeting something and deleting it 2 minutes after?
Super lame. The guys
what's with that?
They need attention so bad, dude. They need that attention so bad. I say this, guys. John Jones is the best fighter I've ever seen, but I don't care about him anymore. He's just not a nice guy. He's a bad guy. We don't need this guy in the sport, really. Like, he's a guy that beats his wife and then makes excuses about it. Like, really? Like, you know what I mean, Marcel? Like, he's an amazing fighter. I'm not trying to say, like, just because someone's not a great guy outside the cage, because a lot of guys aren't, right? But with John, there's been a million things with this guy, Marcel. Every single year, there's something new with this guy. He's getting in trouble.
Yeah.
And we just finally accept that this guy is not a good guy. We don't. Honestly, if you're the UFC, do you really like they're trying to become the next big sport? You really want John Jones? Like, that's the sad part of it. Francis Ngannou is the guy you want to fucking be proud about. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's the guy you fucking look at and you go, this guy's busted his ass his whole fucking life. He came from digging sand in Cameroon to being a UFC world champion. They still don't respect the guy, and that actually makes me sad, Marcel, because he is such a great story. Mm-hmm. There's so much. Whereas these other guys are just complete dicks, like Conor and Jones. They punch people at bars, they yell, they swear, and you know what I mean. They're fighting with people in public. It's just breaking people's cell phones, crashing pregnant women's cars. But they're the people still want to see it. They're the people that the UFC wants to pay, and not a guy like Francis. It doesn't sit right with me. That's
you should cut out this segment and post it because it's 100% true.
Yeah, I know I'm getting a little upset here, guys, but it's true.
Yeah, but I'm fully behind you with this.
And the thing is, like, I really like Jar as a fighter, but
me too.
I think that the last thing was just too much. I think, Marcel, when you lay your hand on your wife, that's just too much. For me. And the guy, again, he hasn't fought in 2 years, so for me, I don't blame Joe Rogan for not asking him, because to me, he's not really fighting. He's not an active fighter anymore. Marcel, he's not an active fighter. His last fight was 2 years ago, and honestly, he lost that fight to Dominic Reyes. And I thought he lost to Thiago Santos. When was the last time John Jones won a fight? It was against Anthony Smith, a fight he almost lost to because he threw an illegal knee. The guy's not as good as he used to be. And you know what? I think Francis' ego is like, oh, I can't wait to fight the winner of this. Like, after this fight, I want to beat these guys. No, I think Francis, I hopefully he knocks him out. I mean, that'd be nice, right? When I say not draw, I mean that in disrespect plays a lot. Yeah, I know. I agree, Joseph. Like, I don't know how good the numbers are going to be. You know what I mean? But the guy, I think if you look at him on a poster, you want to see his fight, right? But I don't know how good the numbers actually translate. Raw Torque, what's going on, my man? Speaking of Stipe, got to pay him too. Yep, I agree. They got to get Stipe a fight. True. We don't know that. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I feel like, you know what? I agree with A-Logo. I think they've given him kind of like weak undercards. I mean, obviously it was a second title fight in this one, but in general, like the last card wasn't. I think it was Woodley and Luque was the co-main event, right? So Thanks, Joe. I feel like you kind of checked on Ngannou business since Stipe fight. Yeah. It's like, honestly, guys, you guys have been in relationships. You know, when you're mentally checked out and you've moved on already, it feels like the UFC has completely moved on. And Francis is, I think he's still trying to make it work, but the management is getting in the way of everything. And it's just, I think, Marcel, I think at this point, it's too far gone, the two sides. All right, let's talk about the salaries, guys, because we're going to talk about the other fights, but we got to talk about the salaries. I'm going to put up Jedi Goodman's tweet. Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. No fighter's going to come on this podcast and start, telling us, hey, you guys deserve to make more money. And I get that, right? I get it. But I do care about these guys. And to me, these salaries they're kind of disturbing to see the 10 and 10. For me, the $600K, he shouldn't be making $1 million, obviously. And, a guy like Figueiredo should make more than $150K to come in and fight. And Fiallo fighting on a main card of a pay-per-view where the UFC sold, so many pay-per-views and tickets to the card, making $12,000 is a complete joke. But these 10 and 10 guys down here for the Contender Series, that's disgusting. I mean, the UFC should be absolutely embarrassed of themselves that this came out, Marcel. This is such a bad look on the UFC. How can you call yourself the premier sport in the world when you're paying people $10,000? Brony Barcelos, I saw a joke saying he got CRB money. That's the money the government gave us last year in Canada when there was COVID. They gave us $14,000. It's basically what these guys got. They got CRB money, the same amount that some people got to sit at home. Marcel, this is beyond wrong. Gennaro Valdez got $10,000 to basically get knocked out 6 times in one fight. This is wrong. Guys, this is really bad. We all knew that the salaries were bad, right? But I had thought that 12 and 12 was the minimum. And I know it's shit, but 12 and 12 is a big difference from 10 and 10. That's a big difference. It's a huge difference. 20% increase in your salary. It's a massive difference. And I go to you, Marcel, you're going to get a 20% salary increase. It's going to be great. I love the UFC, guys. Best fights. They put on the best fights, best fighters. This is a horrible look when Dana White's coming out saying, we had the best year. Our company made so much money. We made so much money, guys. And then you're paying a guy $10,000 to get his ass kicked. A guy that was sent to the hospital probably. He's probably in the hospital still after that fight. I'm going to get the comments in a sec. Give me your honest thoughts on these salaries, Marcel, because I put a tweet out. I got 2,000 likes because I said the 10 and 10 minimum is that's terrible for a minimum wage, guys. I mean, it's below poverty level, basically. They're going to fight once or twice a year. How can you even live off this? Give me your thoughts, Marcel. This is bad. Give me your thoughts.
By the way, I had no idea that Tony Gravely was named Antonio Gravely. So,
I didn't know that either.
So, I agree with you fully. You know that I also, you see my tweet there right on the right side where I say 10 and 10 are still going on. That's by the way, Daniel da Silva Lacerda's contract to fight Figueiredo in April, I think. So, man. I mean, we were thinking that those 12K, 12 times 12 plus 12 was the new thing, and they're still 10-10. So that's pretty much the Contender Series are getting 10-10, and the guys were taking short notice fights like Fiallo, Rodriguez. They got 12, and Silvana Gomez Juarez that wasn't a short notice, got also 12, so basically they're saying if you're a Contender Series guy, you get 10. If you take a short notice fight, you get 12. And when it's your second fight and you lost still the first, you get 12 as well because Silvana Gomez lost her first fight. Or she was on 12 because she took the short notice last time out, remember, against Lupi Godinez. So that's why she probably was on 12. So for me, it's but also, man, you can't listen, man, Ngannou, you can't give him only 100K more than Ciryl Gane. That's horrible, Figueiredo, Brandon Moreno, 200K as a champion is also horrible. Let's see, who else do we have? Barcelos, 29K, horrible. Jack Della Maddalena, man,
that guy's such a beast. 20K.
Yeah, and he didn't even get a bonus or whatever. So I mean. Yeah, what else can we say? It just sucks, and people don't understand. People are like, oh, 10 plus 10 is still 20. You got to pay your coaches, your trainers, everything from that.
The money's gone. Nutrition, supplement, the money's gone, dude.
And if you don't get a second or third fight or you're injured, you pretty much, that's what you earn in a year, So, yeah.
How is Kay Hansen getting 17K when some of these guys are getting 10? Come on. I mean, that's crazy. And she's underpaid too, let's be honest, at 17K. But you know what? Maybe that's why she's doing OnlyFans. That's not much money, guys. I mean, she's probably made, quite frankly, she's probably made more than that on OnlyFans. And someone sent me a photo from the OnlyFans, or there was a photo posted in one of the forums, I should say. And I mean, there's some stuff going on there. I didn't know it was like that. That's all I'll say about that, Marcel. Okay. They get these comments. Let's do it, guys. All right. Glenn, it's also shitty the way the UFCs do it. Send the email saying they sued our. Oh, yeah, that's true. Sorry, Glenn. I thought we were talking about the salaries here. Marcel's salary is terrible. It's so bad, dude. The guy is amazing. He's making $29,000. Like, come on, guys. Like,
well, really, and then I didn't know who it was. I think a management group or manager was saying like they were pretty much defending it. I was like, weird, you know. Yeah. You don't have to attack it or whatever on public, but to defend it is also weird, you know.
It is strange. Oh, Brian Hamper.
I think it was
okay. So there's a manager named Brian Hamper. I can't remember. Let me check what company he's from. Do you know what company he's
from? Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch. Yes. He tweeted up today saying like something like, you know, well, this is what it is, and like you gotta. I don't know what it was. Anyways, he made a really fucking dumb tweet. The guy deleted his account. That's how bad this guy's tweet was.
Let me check.
I'll pull it up. Let me pull it up. I think Josh Gross had it or something. I think Josh. Gross.
I have it here.
Send it to my thing. Send it to the MMA odds breaker.
Okay.
Send it to that one. Thanks.
For sure.
In the DMs. You got it?
In the MMA odds breaker.
Yeah, the one I sent you the link to earlier. I want to see this. Yeah. You got it? Okay. Here we go. Pull this up. Yeah, so one of these managers, this guy is a complete moron, said this. Everyone arguing about fire pay. I challenge you and your buddies to pull your money together, run a show without millions. You expect everyone to be paid too profitable. Well, the UFC does make millions. This guy is a complete moron. Who the fuck would say that as a manager? He's not looking out for his best interest of his guys. If I'm one of his guys, I would try to like take legal action against this guy because he's not looking out for you. He's looking out for the UFC. Terrible tweet. So bad, the guy deleted his account 5 minutes later, guys. That bad. Because he realized, oh my God, what did I just tweet? Like, Marcel, that is the dumbest thing a manager could ever tweet, saying like, oh, my guys don't need to make more money. What the hell?
I never understand when you tweet
Why do you defend
something.
Fighter? I don't understand.
Yeah, but if you tweet something controversial, think 5 minutes before you tweet it. You know what I mean?
I always read my tweets twice now. I always do. Yeah, I'm like, should I send this? Sometimes I delete tweets, man. There's some things I say, I'm like, you know what? I'll just pass on this one. Like, Valentina and GSP are man, GSP trying to validate he get paid much more than male champs. Yeah, that's a good point.
Bro, you saw how mad people got at me when I said that I didn't have to see the fourth fight between Moreno and Figueiredo right away.
Well, it's a good. I know what you're saying, but it is a good fight. But if they want to,
it definitely is. But I don't
another
have to
one
see it right now.
Makes more sense too. Oh man, the Valdez fight was brutal. I mean, it was a great fight though. We'll talk about it in a second. Beltran never refs the fight. I'll talk about that.
Hey man, Beltran was my favorite referee, but he wasn't the strongest performance last Saturday. You know,
that's what we all thought. Look, we all thought it was 12-12, but it's not. It's 10-10. You know, the lowest I've seen ever was. I'm going to show you the guy. This is the lowest I've ever seen in the modern era. I'll call the modern era like the last 15 years. I'll show you right now. 1 sec. It's the lowest I've ever seen. Yeah, this one's the lowest I've ever seen. This was 2000. Actually, I'm going to show you a card it was on. You're gonna laugh when I show you this. This is the lowest. I haven't seen one lower than this. And
Adam, there were only 4 ranked fighters on this card. The 2 title fights.
Okay. This is 2013 still. It was 9 years ago, but Ronda was on the card. This was a massive card. This is Ronda's debut. One of the biggest cards ever, I believe. It did. Well, I don't. No, sorry. It only did. I guess this wasn't her big one. I think that was the one with Holly Holm, but. Still, 500,000 buys. Anyways, if you look at the salaries for this card, this is the one I always remembered. Because, like, 8, I mean, it was back then at 8, and this was 9 years ago. 8,000 the minimum, I thought. But this guy, Yuri Villafort, made 6,550. That's the lowest I've ever seen.
Yeah, but he didn't make weight. He got fined.
Did. It was going to be 7,000, I think, then.
Okay.
Because Nashan Burrell, look at him, 12,500. So his was 5,000 to show and 7,000 to win, and then he got 500 or whatever on the side. So that's the lowest I've seen. Those guys were on Strikeforce deals, which obviously were a little lower, but I thought it got better than that, But really, well, wow, Liz Carmouche 12,000 to headline the card. Oh my God! I didn't saw that before. That is so crazy. Oh man! I mean, I'm sure she got something on the side. I almost guarantee you, but wow. Marcel 12,000 for Liz Carmouche. Oh my God!
Didn't even know that.
I didn't even know that either. That's bad. So it's gotten, well, actually, has it really gotten better? They're still making 12. When medical, well, actually, the headliners made 12. Now the prelims made 12, so it's gotten better. When medicals costs are worth 10,000, 10% corners, 10%. Yeah, exactly. There's nothing left. There's nothing left. Like I get it. It's an investment, right? This is my 12th year covering MMA. The first few years, I didn't make much money. And I knew it was an investment in my future, right? I'm like, all right, one day you're going to make money. Now I make good money, but it took me a long time to do that. So I get it, but the difference is these guys are professional athletes. They've already put the work in. They already had like 10 fights in the regional scene. They deserve to get paid. It's Alex. It's bad, man. It's bad. It's bad. Oh, I was worried. Barcelos. Yeah, that's funny. $216 a strike. Oh my god, that's so funny. Bad enough to Barcelos. That fight was amazing. Such a good fight. Talking about Brian Butler. Got trashed by Dana. Yeah, the guy is. I don't know. Not sure. I don't even know what happened with that. Now Patty's fighting Vargas. John, understand that every fighter might be able to quit their normal job when they join the UFC. Most definitely should be able to. I agree. I mean, no, Stipe is still working his job. It depends on the fighter because they get a lot of time off too, right? Yeah, I know you're saying hype. We're gonna actually. The sad thing is we're gonna talk about that fight next because I think we've talked about the pain in the Ngannou fight. So let's go on. Yeah, I mean, Joe, Bellator. That's what I'm saying. Like, as much as we complain about the UFC, Bellator's is even more garbage. There's some guys making like 2,500 on their prelims, Marcel. Like it's pretty bad. Yeah, no, I don't think. Never mind. I don't think he necessarily came out lower on them. Like I was impressed by Francis, but like, do I think he's better than he was yesterday? Like the last time I thought of him, not really. But I think that it was good to see that evolution. As far as Gane, I think Gane's stock went down a little bit. I got to be honest. I think it went down a little. I think it did because he was the favorite and lost though. Everyone thought he was going to win the fight and lost. So I think it went down a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit.
You know what it is, Adam? Man, dude made a mistake. Didn't expect Francis to wrestle him. And in the rematch, he will probably expect it more. So we will be more prepared for that, you know. So then the game plan completely changes, I think. Can he prevent Francis from taking him down? I don't know, you know. But the game plan definitely changes if that happens because nobody, including Ciryl Gane, expected Francis to take him down. I mean, let's be honest. So I think it doesn't really hurt the stock, but we'll see what's next. You know, we will see what's next. Maybe we have to really go on to Moreno right now because we're running out of time, man.
Yeah, no worries. Let's go to the next fight. Moreno and Figueiredo. So, okay, well, as far as this fight goes, I mean, it surprised me. You know, I thought Figueiredo looked great in this fight, guys. I thought he looked really good. You know, of the 3 fights, this is the best he's looked. Here's my thoughts on the fight. First round was super close. I think could have gone either way, really. You know, could have gone either way. Second round, definitely Moreno's, no doubt about it. That's the one round he for sure won. The third round, Moreno was winning the round. I had a tweet written up, and they got dropped with 10 seconds left. That swung the round. Actually, he got dropped twice in that round. Figueiredo won that round, the third round, okay? So, depending on who you gave, I gave the first round to Figgy, but like, you know, that one's kind of a toss-up. Second round, Moreno. Third round, Figgy. Fourth round, it seems like it was there was some split on the judges. I thought Figgy won at the time. Fifth round was also close. I thought Figgy won that, although, you know, it could win either way. I still think Figgy won. I had a 4-1, but 3-2 is fine too. I think he definitely won though, Marcel. Did you have him winning, Figueiredo?
I had 3-2 for Moreno, but
which rounds did you have?
I don't exactly know.
Fair enough. It was one of these fights where the rounds were so close, right?
Like I wasn't upset with Figueiredo winning because it was a close fight, and it was not like there was no robbery in that fight for me, you know. So I mean, it was a great fight. I think they were very competitive with each other. In my opinion, Moreno landed better, in my opinion, but Figueiredo had the bigger shots, you know. For Figueiredo knocked him down, I think definitely twice, 2 times apart in 2 rounds. So, and that swung those rounds to him for me, you know, because that was so competitive. So a knockdown is pretty big in a competitive round. You know what I mean? Yeah. Huge. So that's why. But I was 48-47 Moreno, but I had no problem with 48-47 Figueiredo. So
yeah, I think Figueiredo won. Anyways, as far as the next fight goes, like, how could you not want to watch the fourth fight? You know what I mean? But wait, hold on, wait, because I know you're going to say you don't want to. But like, we just saw them fight 3 times in a row. I think it is time for someone else to get the fight, right? Like Pantoja or actually Pantoja fought Figueiredo. It was a fight of the night. They fought in Edmonton a few years ago on the Max Holloway Edgar card. I would like to see that fight again for 5 rounds. Or Kai Kara France would be a great fight. He has a fight lined up, I think, right?
Yeah.
He's fighting Pantoja or no?
No, Askarov against
Askarov, yes, in Columbus, yeah. Either of those guys, either the winner, like, you know.
Adam.
Yeah.
Question to you.
Yep.
Do you think Moreno and Figueiredo are the two best guys right now in the flyweight division. Just yes or no?
Do I think Moreno and Figueiredo
are the two best guys
yeah,
in
I
flyweight.
do. And that's why they should probably fight again, right?
No,
Yeah.
so if those two are the best two guys, you can let it go for a little bit. You know, you don't have to do the fourth immediately. Let Moreno fight Pantoja, you know, because Pantoja had that, how do you say that? Had to have two wins over Moreno, one in the UFC, one in the Ultimate Fighter.
Yep.
Yeah. And let Figueiredo fight the winner of Askarov against Cara France, you know?
Yep.
Apparently, you say those two are the best guys in the division, so Moreno should win and Figueiredo should win, and then you can do number 4. You know what I mean?
You know, and they can do this, and they did this when John Jones fought Gustafson. Everyone was like, run it back. Remember? Everyone was like, run it back. It was an amazing fight, and the UFC's like, you know what? We're going to give Gustafson, Jimmy Manuel, we're going to give the title shot to Glover. And we never saw that fight again. You know, that's the only thing I'm worried about, is that you can say that, but things change so much in the sport that so much can happen. And like one of these guys, maybe Figueroa can't even make 125 next year. You know, we don't ever see the fourth fight. Do we need to see the fourth fight? I don't know, but it is 1-1-1. So
you know what it is, Adam. We don't need to see the same guys going at it for the whole time. You know, that if there weren't any other contenders, I didn't have a problem with it. You remember back in the day when you had DJ in the flyweight division, and you had Joseph Benavidez in the flyweight division. It was 0-2 for 2-0 for Demetrius, for DJ. You know, Benavidez had to do like. He was on a huge win streak at a certain moment, and then he lost a split due to Sergio Pettis. He never got that third fight with Demetrius because he lost 2 against him before. I mean, and at that moment, I wanted to see him fight Demetrius again because he was the number second best flyweight in the world at that moment. But right now, you got Askarov fighting Kai Kara France, and in my opinion, I think Askarov beats either Moreno and Figueiredo, to be really honest. He fought Moreno, was a draw, could have lost that one, but that was in Mexico, was at height, you know. But so I still think Askarov, in my opinion, Askarov is the best flyweight, but he hasn't shown it yet. So Figueiredo is the best at this moment. Moreno is the second best at this moment. But we have to see evolution in that division, man, because now we are at the same spot right now with the flyweights. Still number 1, number 2, number 1, number 2, and nobody gets a chance. You got to give the other guys a chance, and it's not like these guys are like, how do you say that? Is it possible for them to win because they're not good enough? They're good enough, so let them get the chance. And either Pantoja was supposed to fight Moreno on this card, you know, but Pantoja couldn't make it because he was injured or whatever, you know. So they went with Figueiredo on this one. Wasn't even the plan to do the third Figueiredo fight. Yeah. So why we have to see a fourth right now immediately, man? We can still see it later. But I see your point that you're saying like maybe we don't never see it again. Yeah. True.
That's what I'm saying, because in this sport you're not guaranteed anything. But I think you guys are making a great point. John likes to fight, and there's some amazing divisions, especially at the top of them. Let's see what Glenn said. With the 3 fights in 13 months, not being held too bad. I'm okay with fourth in the summer. Yeah, I'm okay with it too. But I'm okay with either way. If they want to go the other direction, it's fine too. Let's go to the next fight here. Michel Pereira defeats Andre Fiallo. Great fight. Go ahead.
I was really annoyed with Figueiredo's approach to that fight, leading up to that fight. Like, he got the same cringy kind of stuff that Henry Cejudo always does. It doesn't fit him. She shouldn't do it. It was fake as hell because you saw the guys respect the shit out of each other after that fight, you know. Yeah. And Moreno knew it was fake as hell because he was laughing at him the whole damn time. Like, what are you acting stupid, you know? Yeah. And Figueiredo, great fighter, dude, don't do it. Doesn't fit you, isn't great. And we still like your fights, you know. We don't need that bullshit, that selling point from he hates him. You didn't hate him, you know. And Henry doesn't hate Moreno. It's just a gimmick and it's just stupid.
Yeah. No doubt. All right, let's go to the next fight.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. That's fine. Pereira, I mean, I think the fight played out exactly as I thought. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I think I broke this fight down really well, guys, last week. The other fight, the 2 title fights, not the greatest, but this fight I broke down to a T. I said Fiallo would win the first round. He would get tired, and Pereira would have the better cardio, believe it or not, and he did. I will say that I agree with what you said. Where's the comment here from Daniel? You said something about Pereira's defense. Listen, I still think he's a very elusive guy, but this fight he did get tagged quite a bit. But Fiallo is a real head under, man. So either way, I mean, the guy did what he had to do to win the fight. It was a pretty exciting fight. Could have been fighting in another card maybe, but great fight. I'm excited to see what's next for Michel Pereira. I think he's a really exciting guy. So any thoughts?
Fun fight, but I told a friend of mine where I was texting with, I was like, Michel Pereira might be lucky that Andre Fiallo has an even worse gas tank than he has.
Exactly.
Because
Yep.
they both were gassed, but Michel Pereira could at least do some offensive stuff in the second and third round. He lost the first round, I think, 29-28. It's the way he needed to win this fight. This was a high risk, low reward fight for him.
Yep.
It's a guy, a newcomer, a proven knockout artist. And Pereira was supposed to fight Salikov, to get in the rankings.
Yeah.
So he needed to win this fight, and he won this fight. So I'd say book the fight against Salikov again.
And he's 5-2 now in the UFC. Pereira.
Yeah.
He should have won the Sanchez fight before he threw that knee, so he should be 6-1. The Tristan Connolly fight, gassed out and lost. I still can't believe he lost that fight. That is such a crazy upset, eh? All right, next fight, Said Nurmagomedov. Sorry, I missed a few comments. Sorry, guys, I apologize. From Daniel. Yeah, Daniel. No, well, I think we broke that one down well. Anyways, next fight, Said Nurmagomedov. I didn't expect the fight to end this way in 47 seconds by submission. Second time Staman's been submitted, first by choke. Cody Staman's lost 3 straight fights, by the way. I mean, the guy's a pretty good fighter, but I mean, that's not good. Said's a beast, though. I mean, we all said he's going to outstrike him. He did. He was kicking him, spinning back fist, followed by spinning back kick, and then the guy goes for a shot. He locks him with a guillotine. 4-1 now in the UFC with 3 wins by stoppage. 135 continues to be a fucking incredible division. I mean, I think this guy's going to be ranked now at like 15th, I believe. He's a beast. I can't wait to watch the fight again, Marcel.
They better fucking rank him, dude. I mean, that was a great performance. Nobody did that to Cody Stamann before, like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's going to be, Said's going to try to knock him out and Cody's going to try to get it to the ground. And that's what Cody tried, but he got countered with that. I think it was a ninja choke, actually, right? That Said got him in.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, amazing performance and a well-deserved $50K bonus, I think, for Said. I mean, amazing.
Yeah, it was great. It was an awesome fight, and I think he's a really good fighter, man. This is a big win for him. And I was going to say, he finished this guy under a minute. He finished Mark Striegel, who sucks, under a minute, but he finished Ricardo Ramos in 2 minutes, and that guy's really tough. So this dude can finish you, and he's a beast. And again, he's not related to Khabib somehow, and he's still really good. But he's got grappling now apparently too. Because TJ deserved the Victor Henry fight. It'd be interesting. Cody fan felt the guy who doesn't get cut. Yeah, I mean, 3 straight losses is tough, but I think they'll give him another fight. I believe he's on the pay-per-view card. I think they like him, and he's a good fighter, but he's fighting tough fights. All right, this fight, Michael Morales and Trevor Giles knocks him out in the first round. Giles is looking pretty good, but I mean, they'll cut to 170. I think they affected the chin. And second straight loss by knockout for Trevor Giles. Michael Morales, we talked about last week. Everyone's like, contender series guys aren't that good. Well, I mean, this guy, like I said, he's fucking good. And I think this guy's going to have a good career in the UFC, Marcel. I think he's a really good young fighter. He's only 22. So I think it's a nice win for him. Giles is not an amazing fighter, but he's a pretty decent gatekeeper type of guy. And to me, it's a nice win. So what do you think, man?
Key word here is killer instinct, I think, because Trevor Giles had him in trouble early, but he couldn't get it done. And Michael Morales, the moment he had them in trouble, he went all over him, and he pretty much ended the fight within 25 seconds after that. So, I mean, Morales, he's also super young, man. He's 13-0, 22 years of age. I mean,
are we talking about a future champion here? Maybe am I crazy to say that?
It's difficult to say that right now, man. But he really look good, and he has a lot of potential. So I want to see him in the second fight, but this is people underestimate Giles. This is a big win, man.
Yeah,
I mean, Giles is an established guy. This is a good win.
A pay-per-view card opening up a pay-per-view. A lot of people saw the fight.
Yeah.
Lots of people become champs. If I told you Rafael dos Anjos in 2006 would be a champ one day, you'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? I think this guy has the potential. I'm not saying anytime soon, but maybe 7-8 years down the road, Marcel. I mean, he's only 22. He's young. There's no rush.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta get some comments. Tom Aspel overrated. I don't think so, but he's going to be fighting Volkov in the main event. I don't know if I love that fight as the main event. I don't think it needs to be 5 rounds personally.
I mean, I think they didn't have a main event, I think they wanted to make Darren Till against Uriah Hall.
Yeah.
That didn't came apart. Then I told you about that Chimaev against Luka one. I still think they want Chimaev on a pay-per-view card probably in the US, so that's also didn't happen. So they needed a main event because Aspinall was booked against Shamil Abdurakhimov. And then out of nowhere, we saw Shamil listed against Pavlovich, and I was like, what the hell? And then I got told by a colleague of mine that Aspinall was still on the card, and he was likely getting Volkov in the main event. It's like, oh, okay, it makes sense, But but it makes sense because it probably didn't have another main event, I think. So that's why they put Aspinall, a favorite, from a guy from Liverpool. He's fighting in his own country against Volkov, who is also a European, a Russian guy. So they always go with those heavyweight main events in Europe. I don't know what that is, but they always go with those heavyweight main events.
They sure do, especially when they go to like Netherlands.
Yeah.
Or one of the bandweight sugar shot division in the UFC, so we can see Rodway and O'Malley. That'd be a good fight, man. Sorry, Ricky Simone. That'd be a good fight, John. Or I think Pedro Munoz would be a great fight too. And Pedro's kind of like that gatekeeper type right now for the top 10. Yeah, Loco said exactly what you said. I mean, this guy, like I said, I'm pretty sure this is your burner account. I'm sorry, this one, because you just said this too. So this is your burner account. No, I'm kidding. This guy's got insight. He's got a lot of information, which is good. Yeah, I know, Joe. He's great. He's young, very impressive. Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying anytime soon, guys. Like Khamzat Chimaev, I think could be a champ right now. I'm not saying Morales. He's not a finished product. Khamzat, I think, kind of is. This guy's still in the work in progress, but I think he's fucking really good. That camp is solid too. That camp he's from. Yeah, I mean that could happen too. He could definitely get exposed. Aspinall for sure.
Yeah, the thing is, Volkov doesn't have that knockout power that Lewis has.
He does have the cardio to go 5 rounds, though, right?
For sure, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got the experience. Bellator champ, top 5 guy in the UFC. I mean,
but there's kind of a different, how do you say that? Different game plan and whatever comes across. But yeah, those are different challenges, but those are tough challenges both. So yeah, I agree.
Okay, so Victor Henry, going to the next fight, defeats Henry Barcelos. I said it last week. I'm like, guys, this guy's really good. I knew he was good. It's so hard to pick against Barcelos, right? So I don't really regret not picking it. But honestly, at plus 400, I probably should have paid a few bucks on the guy. Jeez, what a performance. I mean, amazing fight. He won every round. And Marcel, this guy didn't get tired for 15 minutes, and he threw like 300 strikes. He landed like almost 200 strikes. Insane fight. Give me your thoughts. This fight should have won. I mean, I hope these guys got slipped extra money because it was fight of the night until the co-main event, I thought.
Do you think Barnett's still upset with me posting that fight announcement? I mean, it was a good debut for Henry, man. I mean, you debut against Barcelos. Barcelos, good fighter. Both guys. And also, I said it about Barcelos, but same for Victor Henry. Should have been earlier in the UFC, probably. If you look how he fought like a veteran, in my opinion. Great fight. And in my opinion, this was a better fight than Moreno Figueiredo, man. Although I understand that they prefer a 5-rounder over a 3-rounder, but I would have slipped these guys the $50K for a fight of the night.
Yeah, this was a great fight. And $29,000 to show is a joke.
Yeah.
Victor Henry made more money than his first fight. He did win the fight, but still, I mean, that's kind of messed up. Barcelos has had 7 or 8 fights now. Jack Della Matalan defeats P. Rodriguez. I mean, this fight it actually went exactly what I thought, except the finish came faster than I thought in the first round, not the second or maybe third. P just didn't have the cardio, obviously. He came on short notice. But I think Jack Della Matalan is like one of the better boxers right now in the UFC. I mean, the guy slips punches well, but he goes to the body, he goes to the head, mixes it up well. Took like no damage in the fight. I hope they can turn him around really fast and give him another fight. I think he's a really exciting guy. Great addition to the roster. 11 straight wins. I mean, there's so many good fights you can do with this guy. Like I was saying the other day, like Nico Price would be a great fight. Chaos Williams, Matt Semmelsberger. I mean, shit. Even Michel Pereira would be a good fight. Any of these guys would be good fights. So I really like this guy. Give me your thoughts on this dude, man.
Yeah, man. I was before that fight, I was talking to Jack Della Maddalena's manager, and he was like to me, like, this guy is super special, man. Keep your eye out on him. He is really good. And we saw it actually already in the Contender Series how good he was. He had probably the best fight of the season against Ainge Losa.
That guy should have been signed too, by the way.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, he did what he had to do, and he did in the first round. It was an amazing performance in your debut. Guy looked good. I really look forward to see him next, man, in the UFC. The guy has a lot of potential, I think.
I agree. Let me get these comments. You guys talking about Henry. I picked him, Bet Henry. Nice job, man. I agree completely. I mean, the odds were way off, obviously. Great pick. Great bet, too. Striker Lawrence, Henry gets Paiva. Sure. I mean, that'd be a good fight. I'd like to see that fight. Why didn't we get to Henry Reid? Man, listen, I do after the fight. I really like this guy. I mean, I think we kind of had the Reid. It's just, the short notice and the UFC debut against a really good fighter in Barcelos. It's more just I think Barcelos is really good, Marcel? Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I mean, he was way better than we thought. I mean, the odds were so off on this fight. It's like they weren't even close. It'd be a great fight. Victor Henry, Pedro Munoz. Oh, yeah, this Dennis guy is really good. He beat Victor Henry like 2 fights ago. Jack Della to the moon. It's like Bitcoin. Or actually, Bitcoin's going to the bottom of the earth now. Anyways, let's go to the next fight. This one's fast. Tony Gravely defeats Simon Oliver. Actually, I don't even want to talk about this fight. He landed 11 takedowns and he won the fight. He did a good job. He got what he did the job. You know, it wasn't a bad fight necessarily. It wasn't an exciting fight either. But
I mean, Tony needed to win this fight because he lost that last one to Nate Maness, and he looked good in that first round back then.
I just think the Simon Oliveira guy is just not UFC caliber at all. I mean, the guy's going for a guillotine every round, falling to his back. It's just stupid. Like, it's just like, that's not UFC caliber. So to me, this was honestly one of the easiest fights to pick on the card, Marcel. Were you ever like thinking that he was going to lose? Not really, right? Like, so.
I picked Gravely as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think he has, although the Brazilian had a lot of fights, I think Gravely has fights against much more experienced. My God, has more experience against higher level guys. That's what I wanted to say. So I went with Gravely, and I expected him to use his wrestling, which he did. You know, and this was a fight he had to win, probably to remain in the UFC. So. Yeah, he did what he had to do, so I have no problem with it. But was it a spectacular? Absolutely not. I think Gravely said as well on his Instagram, like, I needed to win this fight, and it wasn't spectacular, but I'm happy with the win. So, yeah, fair play, you know?
They get the job done. I saw that. So, Frevola, Cole said that too, I think. Let's talk about this fight. So, that's why I want to get through that fight, because this fight, and the next fight too, but this fight was...
crazy.
One of the most insane. I mean, and we all watch. Like this is what I've been doing for the last 10+ years for a living. Like I watched every fight, you know, and so have you guys in the chat, as you know, as fans. This is one of the craziest fights I've ever seen, and it only lasted 3 minutes. Technically, it's 4 knockdowns. I thought it was 5. They were saying 6. Doesn't matter. The guy got dropped so much, and I just couldn't believe it. I'm watching this fight. Frevola comes out and starts striking, and I'm like, oh my God, why is he fighting this like? I'm like, he's going to get McKinney again. He's going to get destroyed. Go for a takedown. You just stood there and banged with this dude. Fight was amazing. Really upset he didn't get a bonus. Obviously deserved $50,000 for this performance. Because this is one of the best single-handed performances like ever. You know, Marcel, like, when has a guy got dropped 4 times in 3 minutes in a fight? Never. That's never happened. Literally, this was like the first time I've ever seen this. So, insane. Just an insane fight. I was freaking out watching. I'm like, holy shit! Like it was one of those fights. Like when I watch a fight like this, I'm like, I fucking love MMA. It's the best sport. Marcel, it was so good. Give your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, man, amazing. You know, if there was, that was just. He kept on going, and Valdez also came forward. You know, and he kept punching, but Frevola with 4 knockdowns, right? I mean. It was crazy. I was also like, I was texting with somebody. It's like, this is crazy, man. They said from Eurosport, this guy said to me, like, if you see something we should really upload on our channel, let us know as well. So after that, during the fight, it's like the whole first round, the whole finish, you have to upload the whole round. It's amazing, you know. It was a great fight and super necessary as well for Frevola to win this fight, man. And I'm completely with you. When I saw him getting in the striking battle, I was like, dude, this guy always goes on with striking while his ground game is actually his key normally, you know. And he'd been knocked out with the striking against Paulo Reyes, against Terrence McKinney. He lost with Ciryl, not because of the striking, but he lost to him. But this looked good, man. 4 knockdowns. It was just an amazing first round. And I really feel like Frevola should get some extra cash for that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's amazing fight. It was just incredible. Get the comments, guys. We all loved it. We've got a couple of fights left. Let me get this one. The screen for it to be stopped. There was just no need. The guy was so done. It was like, you know, that GIF of like Bart Simpson. It's like, stop, he's dead already. That one, like that's or like the Simpsons. Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. Bro, dude, his chin looked fine in the fight. They recovered, dude. The guy got dropped so much. And he lived to tell the tale. He also got dropped in his Contender Series fight against Patrick Wade. This guy has a bad chin. And well, I should say a bad. Yeah, he's got a bad chin. He's got a weak chin. Recovered well, but his chin is weak, Marcel. 5 knockdowns in 2 fights. That's not. I think he got knocked down last fight. I'm pretty sure he did. I remember that Patrick White fight was insane. Remember that fight? This guy's had 2 insane bangers. That's crazy. Like
Patrick White looked amazing in that first round. And
who's Valdez fighting next? Who's he gonna fight next? You gotta go someone really exciting, right? Who's a banger at featherweight, like Billy Q or something like that? I'm kidding. We'll get that fight, but no, it's not 145. It's a 155, right?
Azaitar. That would
be a banger. We'll talk about some fights. You got some for us, buddy? You got some fights for us, man? I think Marcel's going to maybe break one tomorrow. Can you break one for us, Marcel? Maybe it was because I bet the unders. Well, you got it, right? It still ended in the first round, bud. Too bad Cruz didn't see Montrese. Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Inconsistent refs, right? You never know, man. Some refs are different than others. Some more way than others.
Daniel, soccer is great, man. But, I mean, there are some annoying stuff in soccer sometimes. But it's a great game. I love it.
Yeah. So this guy's saying Herman's and Strickland. That fight's actually not this weekend, guys. It's actually next weekend. So I was about to say, because the other question was like, what are you
But I know who Adam has. I know who Adam has.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a few weeks. But I was going to say tomorrow we're going to do Bellator because we have a Bellator card. So we'll do Bellator, Marcel, and we'll do fight announcements tomorrow. So we'll be here tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. For now,
you can't wait to do that Bellator card.
Lucas Brennan is like a minus 2,000 favorite again. Does Marcel know why Nazareth and Demir didn't get finalized? I'm not sure, but I know. Oh, you know why? Did the weight cut or what?
I know that the team from Demir asked for the fight, but they never heard anything back. And it's not that they didn't hear back from Nasra, but probably from the UFC. So, yeah.
I got it. Valdez Lando. Fuck, sure. Hey, Tajik Bay, what's up, man? I saw a couple of your tweets on the screen the other day. It's awesome, dude. I think Lando's. Yeah. That's the thing. I was Frevola's. He's a lightweight, guys. He's not 145.
Yeah.
So, but Valdez, he could drop maybe. I mean, maybe because I don't know if he's a 150. He hasn't had much success, to be honest with you. He's a broomstick. Yeah, he is. He's versus a broomstick, sure. Or I can say he is a broomstick. I mean, basically, it wasn't this fight. Oh yeah, that was a good fight too. I mean, we didn't talk about.
I still have to check that out.
Charles Johnson and Carlos Mata was amazing. Charles Johnson got a 5th round knockout, 4th or 5th, I can't remember, and
5th.
He's definitely getting signed to the UFC, right? Because I saw a stat saying literally every LFA flyweight champion is made to the UFC eventually. So
I'm actually upset with that fight because I think both guys deserve the chance to get in the UFC, and now one probably won't get chance. I think Carlos Mota is great as well. They both should have
got in. Carlos Mota is good. This is a good fight. Frevola versus Slava Claus. That would be fun.
Crazy.
They got to re-sign Frevola. I think Cole was saying that he's considering like just looking for his options, I guess, or was Mike Heck, sorry, one of the two. I think maybe they both said it actually. I just don't know, like if PFL or Bellator are going to break the bank for this guy. I mean, he had a great fight, but like he's probably best off going back to the UFC, honestly. But for him, a guy, who's had ups and downs in his career, he's going to look for the most money up front, I would assume. And again, I think he'll resign with the UFC. I would hope after this fight, but you got to wonder, maybe that's why he didn't get a bonus because there's contract issues. You know what I mean, Marcel? Because how did this guy not get a bonus? Like it's crazy. Now we'll go to the next fight. We got 2 more fights left. We got like 2 more minutes here.
Yeah, let's do it, man. No problem.
Vanessa Demopoulos defeats Savannah Gomez Juarez first round submission. So insane, absolutely insane because she got dropped so hard. I mean, to me, like she ate the punches so well. Those ground and pound shots were extremely hard too. And the referee, Frank Trigg, former co-worker at MMAOBsBreaker.com. Frank Trigg used to work for the website. Crazy, right? The same one we're doing the podcast on. Frank is a good ref. And I think that Frank has the experience because he was a fighter himself, right? So he knows you got to give these guys a chance. And, sometimes they're just too far gone. He gave Vanessa a chance. I think a lot of refs, let's be completely honest, guys, will stop a fight too early with that because it's a girl. Let's be honest. A lot of refs do that. So I'm glad the fight went on because I think a lot of refs would have stopped that fight and they wouldn't have given Vanessa the opportunity to get the armbar and get the $50K bonus. Absolutely, I thought she deserved a bonus. That's the messed up part because I think that Saeed deserved one too, and I think Frevola did. I think they could have given an extra $50K or 2 out for this card. It was that good of a card. I thought it was a great card. This was amazing, Marcel. So for me, it's a huge win for Demopoulos, and I love the fight. So give me your thoughts.
Yeah, I think the UFC is really into that kind of stuff with bonuses we really have to give a girl a bonus, and if we can give a girl a bonus, we give it to her. But this was a deserved one, but I think there were other guys who deserved it as well. But for example, man, I was talking to my dad about this fight, and he was like, the ref should have stopped it. I was like, what do you mean? He said after she got knocked down, she was pretty much out. I was like, yeah, I can see that, but in my opinion, it worked out. And she recovered and she got the armbar. So I didn't have any listen. If Frank Trigg stopped that fight right there, you wouldn't hear me complain.
Yeah.
But he let it go. You won't hear me complain either. Great comeback win for Demopoulos. And a good showing now at 115. Her first fight was at 125. Short notice against JJ Aldrich. A good showing with saying good comeback because she got knocked down by Savannah Gomez Juarez. I mean, great win for her, and she had lots of fun with Joe Rogan right after the interview. So,
by the way, what do you think about Savannah losing twice by armbar now? not good.
Yeah, but I think she might be lucky that she knocked Demopoulos down here, and the UFC saw
Do
that.
you think they'll give her one more fight? Because she got the power?
I would think
because
so,
I think
yeah.
otherwise she would have been cut probably, right?
Mhm.
But she did. She got that knockdown, right? And
Yeah.
and I knew she was a good striker. I think this girl came to the UFC too late. She's 37 now.
Yeah.
Her tape from 5 years ago looked great. She should have been there then. She came too late. You know,
It's so weird, huh?
she might not win a
Sometimes
fight. I don't know. Why did they sign her then? Why sign her
Yeah,
now? It doesn't make sense, right?
They sometimes sign fighters at such a young age with so inexperienced, and then they're coming with fighters who are 36 or 37.
Victor
who
Henry.
should have been, yeah, same thing. Yeah,
That's got like 30 fights, and yeah, Moda's good. He is good, and he's in LFA against Yuma Horichi or Yusuf Formiga or Clayton Carpenter. Good fights.
Yeah, Moda's super. How do you say popular? Because he's also really interacting with fans all the time on Twitter and Instagram.
I like this fight too, by the way. Juarez and Loma look good to me.
Great fight. By the way, did you saw Jussier Formiga got signed by LFA?
I didn't see that, but
yeah,
he did. That's good. He shouldn't have been cut by the UFC. He's a good fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta give her credit. This is hilarious. Sorry, this is too funny, but you're cruel. You're a mean guy, Daniel. The two chiniest guys in the UFC. They have to do this fight. They have to. They have to. This is the two guys with the worst chins in the division. You gotta do the fight. I'll watch it. It's good to see Frank as a ref. Yeah, I mean, hey, grateful dude. It was. I thought so. Yeah, Carpenter's good. Your fighters are rough. Yeah, he's saying they're going to cut her. They might. I think they'll get one more fight. There's got to be some really bad fighter in the bottom of this division, like that. You know,
we got to put some feather in our own asses, dude. The first fight of the night, we both picked the right girl to win, and we were pretty convinced.
Let's get down to this one. The last fight of the night, Jazz Davicius defeats Kay Hansen. Me and Marcel both. We said it last week. We're like plus 200. This is insane. Stupid odds. Super just wide for no reason. Like Kay Hansen's a decent young fighter, but at this weight class has no strength to get the takedown, no stand-up whatsoever. Clearly he's been way too busy, doing OnlyFans, which again, I don't really blame her, guys, because when you see her make 17K, she's probably made more than that OnlyFans. Let's be completely honest, so
the only thing that's always funny to me with these girls for the OnlyFans is like when they get like sexual messages from people.
I know that's the thing. It's like, why are you guys saying this stuff to me? And they're like posting your pictures of yourself naked. Like, what do you expect? Anyways, let's be honest. Jasmine, even though she doesn't have as much experience, she's the more like mature in her prime fighter right now because she is 32. And I think she looked good in this fight. I'm not gonna say she looked amazing because she didn't get the finish or anything, but she looked
super
good.
Solid.
Yeah, she looked solid. And I just wonder what's next. I mean, really, I'm not sure, but I think there's some good fights that you can make with this girl in the division. And I mean, Marcel, she's a Canadian. There's not many Canadian fighters to get excited about right now, and she's got a good personality. She seems to really enjoy fighting. She's always got a smile on her face. She can't punch in the head, and she's got a smile on her face. That's the kind of girl I like. So let's get some comments here. Valdez on Tavera. I mean, not to do that at home right there. I'm talking about the fights, guys. Let's get right there. I'm not John Jones here. Valdez on Taveros. I mean, you got to do this fight. You got the guy. Actually, Charlie Taveros had 2 knockdowns against Steve Garcia in that last fight. Remember that? That was insane. Marcus, thanks, buddy. Yeah, I'm excited to see you. Hey, Mr. X, Savage turned the wrong way from that armbar. Dude, it was really sad, actually. It's just very basic. And to get caught twice like that is not very good. I like that fight, though. I don't know who came up with it, but I like it. We normally show judges. I think they did a good job, Glenn. I agreed with, I believe, every decision on the card. I agree with all the decisions. I mean, I think the scoring was pretty good for them. There actually were some new judges used for this card, which is cool. I think California does a pretty good job. I mean, I think they had good officials. They have good. What are you saying? What?
The ancient ones missed the bus to the event center.
What? Wait, what'd you say?
No, you say there were some new judges at this card. I say the ancient one missing the bus to the event center.
Oh my god. Yeah, you guys make more yeah, I mean, she's good. And my other guy, James Lynch, I did his podcast, our podcast, The Parting Shot. First thing, James is like, he's like, I like Jasmine. I'm like, shit, man, me too. So yeah, the size, you couldn't take her down. Is it tomorrow?
No, it's Saturday, man.
29th. Yeah, it's 29th.
Yeah, it's Saturday, man. But it's my last.
I mean, Glenn, you almost got it. Like it's only 4 days off. Look at Glenn though; he cares about you. Okay, yeah. I mean, we'll do tomorrow. We'll come back. We'll do all the fight announcements and we'll do Bellator preview. You got some news right now or tomorrow?
No, tomorrow some news if we have time for it.
Oh, news, yeah. I was gonna say, do you have anything to tell us, Marcel? Can you give us something, sneak peek, anything? Like one fighter can get.
I have nothing on the shelf, dude. Everything what I have is already out last week. What I had, I have Blood Diamond against Jeremiah Wells. I posted that. I got another one which I now forgot, but yeah, I got a few.
No worries. All right. Anyways, I think that's it for today, guys. Really appreciate everyone joining us. It was a lot of fun. Marcel, plug yourself. Let's get out here.
Big Marcel 24, Twitter, Instagram, and my articles are written on eurosport.nl/mixed/mixed. How do you say that? That minus thing, Marshall minus thing arts. That's
Hyphen, I think.
Yeah.
Anyways, you guys can follow me on Twitter at Martin Podcast, MMAOddsbreaker.com. It's on YouTube, obviously, as you guys know, and then all the other places you can find your podcast. Also, mymmanews.com and then bookies.com. It's my full-time job now. Really good stuff so far. I've been there for 6 weeks, Marcel, and I love my new job. And I know you're loving your new job too, so everything's good. Thanks again, guys. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, and we'll do fight announcements, news, and Bellator. Peace.